This is once we've brought us templates in, then we wanted to assign everything. So we start at the top.
Right, so you've done templates there.
Yeah, so you've done templates there, and we've double clicked and brought that one in, which is there. And then we can see all we need to do is go down, and the first thing we come across is this one here where it says connect zone time schedule CO1 actual value to MO5 pin 3. So that's MO5 and that's pin 3. So what the template that we're on there is for, if I just tell you there, is on an under eating. So what we want to do, we want to bring the eating time zone into there. So how we find that, we go onto us eating there, press on that, let it open, and then we'll go to O1 temperature control, press on that, and then we scroll down till we find eating occupation times, which is there. We press on that, then we press on port, and then we look for regulator actual value, because that's what it's telling us there, actual value. So we just hover over that, left click, hold it down, drag it across to number 3, and that's it.
Okay.
That's all we're doing on that page. Then we can move down, and then we're moving down to the hot water page. So we don't need to do anything other than the first one there.
So connect.
So actual value, connect to MO1 pin 3.
Okay.
So this is under hot water, so we can go back over to the, and we can just close that down just to neaten it up. And then we're under hot water. Click on that, and it's under O1 control. Click on that, and then we go down till we find HWS times, hot water system times. Click on that, click on the times, and then if we go down and we find the switch actual value, because that's what it's asking us there, left click and hold it down, drag it to number 3. That's it. So then we go down further, and we've got nothing to bring in to there on this project. But if eating there, we've got extension timer and a spring return override. So if we had a binary input saying eating override under the inputs and outputs, so under here, if we had a binary input, an input saying eating override, that what we'd do, we'd drag that onto there. But we haven't got it, we haven't got one on this job. And same for hot water, if we had one, we'd drag it onto there. And same for summer and holiday switch, we'd drag them on to there. And that's the holiday switch. But on this one, we haven't got them. So that's all we need to do on the overrides template. So if we just, then what, if we close that down, and then close the hot water down, and then what we do then is bring the eating template in, double click, let it do its business, and then what we're looking for is template connect.
The page
template connect. So I'll just clean that up there. So that says temperature control. So all we do, we move down till we find template connect. That's pump controls. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down until we find that's still going down. And there, First one is pumps template connect. So what we connect here is pumps flow switch, pump number 1 and pump number 2. You can see there, enable. So where we find them, we go into as inputs and outputs. It could be on the DDC4000 or it could be on the FBU. So you just got to open them both up and then look till you find what you're looking for. So the first one there is pumps flow switch. Eating pumps DPS, differential pressure switch. That is the same as a flow switch. Now that says pumps flow switch, but that's what Eating pumps DPS is. So we just left click and we just drag that onto there. So that's as pin from his controller going into that marker. M means marker. So then we want the pump output, pump enable 1, pump 2 enable. So we look for that. So you look there, Eating pump 1, Eating pump 2. So that's enables, if you like. So we drag that to there, Eating pump 1, and then we go back and we drag number 2 to number 2. And that's it, that's the pumps taken care of. So we've assigned the input to the pump and we've assigned the outputs to switch the pumps on. And that's all we have to do in that one. And then we go down to the next template connect, or the last one. So if you hover over the template connect there, it tells you what you want. So outside air temperature, room temperature, floor temperature. So we go to as inputs and outputs, and we look and find which one we are. So outside temperature, left click and drag. There. Room temperature, left click and drag. Floor temperature on this occasion is VT floor temperature. That floor temperature there is for the boilers. So we do that on the boiler on the boiler one. So it's VT floor temperature. So we drag that across to there. And that's the first, that's all we're doing on them inputs. And then we've got the next one is number 5, VT valve 0 to 10. We don't drag anything onto there because we've already got that. What we're doing, we're taking it to there to take it out to switch it on. So we look, we go down and try and find where it says VT valve 0 to 10, which is there. And then we drag that to number 5, output. And just work us way down. So we've got this as the override day and summer and holiday. So we go back, where we find that is under overrides. So we'll go onto overrides and then we'll go onto template connect, and then season select is summer and winter. So we click on that. So we've got a summer and we drag that to 23. And now we know it's 23 is when we hover over it, it tells us summer mode. And 24 tells us holiday mode. So we drag holiday onto 24. Then we can close that down and then we can look, what we need then is 21 day and 22 night. So we look for, and that, this is under the Eating template. So we go under the Eating and then we drag the day mode to 21. And we drag the night mode to 22. Don't need, everything else has been done there. We don't need anything else on there. We don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, and we don't need any heat demand because on this job. And then the last one is marker 1 frost. So number 2, we want stage 2 frost, and stage 2 frost, I'll just clean that up, so close that back down. Stage 2 frost comes from the heating boilers. So we go, click on there, and we go template connect, and we go to general IO, which is general inputs and outputs. Click on that, and then we scroll down till we find it saying boiler frost is active, and then we just left click and drag that to there, and that's that one done. We don't need to bother about that on this project, and that's the heating one done. So we can just tidy that back up, and then the next one we're bringing in is hot water. Double click on that and bring the template in, strategy, and we just go down again, and we're looking for template connect. So we just keep going down, template connect. So we hover over it there, H2S tank temp. If we look at the right hand side, we've got nothing going out, so we don't have an H2S tank temp on this. What we want is H2S flow temp, which we have got on here, or we should have. There, hot water temp. So we drag hot water temp to number 2, hot water flow. We haven't got a return temp, we haven't got a primary set point, we haven't got a control valve because there's nothing onto these sides of them. So the next one is overrides on, which we do want. So we get that again under the overrides menu. So overrides, template connect, as in this fact it's already on. So we're looking for hot water, and then we'll go to on, drag that across to 21, and the next one says override off, so off to 22. The next one, air limit, we don't have that, and the next one is holiday, which we do have that. So we'll go back over to here, just clean that up, close that, and then we're going to season select and holiday, and that drags on to 24, holiday mode. And then the next one we don't have a safety circuit. We have an hot water heater, so we do have that. So what we need to do is just clear that up. So in as inputs and outputs, we should have one that says hot water heater enabled. Yep. So that hot water and heater enable goes from there to 26 there, H2S heater, binary output BO means, but it's the same thing. The next one is H2S circulation pump. So we have got a hot water circulation pump, which is there. So number 1, circ pump enable, so we just drag hot water circ pump to number 1. We've also got a secondary pump CT switch or a flow switch input if we want one, but let me just have a look on here. We haven't got one on this one, so if we haven't got one, we don't use it. Sorry, we have hot water secondary pumps DPS. So hot water is same as the hot water secondary pump DPS, or goes on to number 1. So we drag that across onto there, and that's it. That's that one done. There's nothing to do on there. So that's that template done. The next one is heating boilers. Double click on that. And then we go down till we find template connect again. Template connect. General IOs. So the first one is boiler flow. Second one is boiler return. Flow proof we don't have, and spare. So the first one, boiler flow, is, I'll just get rid of that, just tidy that up, is that flow temp there. Should label that up boiler flow, but anyway, that flow, then we drag that to there, flow temp. Boiler return temp, if we have a boiler return temp in as inputs and outputs, we put it on. So we have got a return temp there. So that drags. If we didn't have a return temp, we'd put another flow temperature onto there. But we have got one on this one, so we drag that return onto there. And then that's that bit done. So we've done as inputs. And then the next one is just control set points. Control set points is for the heating demand to bring the boilers on. So where we get that, we go back to the heating menu. Clear that up, and we pick template connect. And we have input output connections, and then it's on that one there, heating set point demand. So we drag that onto number one, and that's it. I'll just clear that up, and then that's all we put on that one, because we've only got one heating zone. If we had another heating zone, we'd do exactly the same. So it'd be another heating zone, template connect, number 4, heating demand, and we'd put it onto there, but we haven't. Then we go down again to the last one is these are boiler connections, boiler 1 connection, boiler 2 connection. So the first connection is 0 to 10 volt signal on an output. So we look across it as inputs and outputs. Yes, we've got a boiler 1 0 to 10 volt control. So we drag that onto there. And then we go down, that's already connected, and then the next one is a boiler 2 enable. So we look on here, and yes, we have got, number 2, boiler 1 it's actually boiler 1 enable, because we're under boiler 1 connection. So we have got a boiler 1 enable, so we drag that across to there. Some projects may only have a 0 to 10 volt signal and not an enable, but it doesn't matter, so we just only use that one. And some projects might just have an enable and not a 0 to 10, and we just connect it there and don't bother that one. And then the next one is boiler 2 connection, so 0 to 10 volts. So we look on as inputs output. Yes, we have got that. So we drag that across to there, 0 to 10. And then the last one, the enable for boiler 2, which is there. Drag that across, and that's that done. That's that boiler section done. And then the last one is sensor calibrations. So we double click and bring that in. This template, I've already got these few in here that are labelled up, examples, but the first two are usually right. So we've got outside temperature sensor, got flow sensor. So we look on our sensors, what we've got, and we label them up to the same. So outside temperature, well, we know that's right. Flow sensor, that's right. So the next one's return. So we right click on there, we go properties, and then we go up there and we change that to return. Then we move across here and we go tab 4000, and then it'll say level 1 sensor adjust. We press on there and we change that to return, enter, and then that's done. And then we do the same, we follow the routine down for all the temperature sensors and do the same all the way through. Once that's done, we go then onto the so we'll pick the first one, the outside temperature sensor. So we go onto the pin, and we press on there, press on the analog input, and then where it says outside temp, we right click and we press new, and then we go down to find adjustment, press 1 in, enter, then we click on the arrow against the outside temp, find the adjustment, click on that, and then it's C, and you can always refer back to there to find out which one you drag onto 8610. So it's C that we drag onto 8610 to there, and then you do the same for all the other sensors and drag them on, and that's it. Then the last thing is when we've done all this, it's automatically saving, but we can go to project and press save. And then what we do, we want to download it to the controller. So to download the controller, we'd click the DDC4000, right click it, move down to where it says project planning file, go across to where it says create DDC without security, and we left click that, and then we give it a version, as in this is version 1 because it's the first one we've done, so I always just V1. You can label it what you want, but V1's what. And then we save, it goes through a little bit. Project engineering data file successfully created. OK. Send project engineering data file to me. What we're going to do, but we've got to make sure that the controller's plugged in, the Ethernet cable is connected to our PC, and once we're happy with that, then we press yes, and then we just let it do its download. You can stop the video if you want to do it.